soon as it's up and running. Okay, we're good to go.
All right, thank you. This is the August 10th, 2022 session of the zoning hearing examiner docket. My name is Carolyn Glosby. For today, I am the zoning hearing examiner for the city of Cincinnati, and I will preside over this hearing. The case before us today is case number ZH20220103 regarding 2436 Gilbert Avenue. The purpose of this hearing is to allow applicants and opposing parties to testify and to offer and refute evidence and testimony. This hearing will follow the rules found in the zoning code and the supplemental rules of the zoning hearing examiner. All testimony and evidence that an applicant or any opposing party wishes to offer must be presented at this hearing. The hearing will proceed as follows. The applicant, the applicant's attorney, or the applicant's agent will first present the applicant's case. The public will have an opportunity to speak after the applicant has presented its case. If there's more than one person opposing an application, those persons should decide among themselves the length of time each will speak. If an opposition group is in attendance, I may request the spokesperson be chosen to speak on behalf of the group. If the applicant is represented by an attorney, the applicant's attorney may cross-examine any person who has testified at the hearing. If a party of record is represented by an attorney, the attorney for the party of record may present witnesses after the applicant has presented its case and may cross-examine any person who has testified at the hearing. In the event that any party testifies or offers argument in opposition to an application, the applicant shall have the opportunity to rebut the testimony and or argument offered in opposition. After the applicant has been given an opportunity to rebut any testimony or argument offered in opposition, any attorney for a party of record will have an opportunity to make a closing statement. Finally, the applicant will have an opportunity to make a closing statement. After all presentations have been made, I will close the hearing. Decisions may be expected within 2 weeks. I may limit or exclude any testimony that I deem irrelevant or outside the scope of the application under consideration. I may interrupt any speaker to ask questions or to make any comments. I may also refuse to consider hearsay testimony or documents. This means evidence that you want to introduce consisting of a statement made by a person who is not present at this hearing, or a document that includes a statement of a person who is not at the hearing. In the event of any technical difficulties with the video conferencing technology, I may continue or postpone this hearing at my discretion. Everyone who will be testifying today, I'd like to ask you at this time to unmute yourselves and raise your right hand and answer out loud to the question I'm about to put to you. Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you will give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
You have to, respond verbally. Thank you. As many of you know, when we do these in person, we have a sign-in sheet, but we're obviously not in person today. So I would just like each of you, anyone who's going to testify today, to please just state your name for our electronic record. Mr. Deaver?
Yep, this is Alex Deaver with Drawing Department.
Okay. Is that Mr. Kallenberg?
Yes, my name is Nick Kallenberg.
Okay, and then there's someone else in the screen along with Mr. Deaver?
And I'm Ron Novak with Drawing Department.
Okay. Mr. Munsell?
Weston Munzel, zoning.
Okay, thank you all. At this time, I think we're ready to hear from the applicant.
Okay, yeah, sure. So if you're in Walnut Hills, there's a lot of redevelopment that's happening in this area. This is part of the T5 MS zoning area. And this is in a vacant building, and our client Nick here has proposed to put a bar and coffee shop into this vacant building. And because we're in the T5 MS district, it's form-based code, so it's a requirement that we have a conditional use for any sort of sale of alcohol or liquor type drinks. So that's why we're here today. This is going to have it's going to be a great asset for Walnut Hills. I think having the bar there to service the people that are living there, to promote more vibrancy in the area, It's going to be a great spot, and Nick's going to make some really awesome cocktails for people to enjoy, and be a great spot for people to get some coffee in the morning. So it's just going to really promote sort of the walkability of Walnut Hills and all the development that's been going down there. It's going to be a great asset and a great additional service that can be provided in that space.
Okay, I'm sorry, your colleague, I didn't make a note of your name. He's the gentleman sitting across the table from you, Mr. Deaver. Can I get your, I need to write your name down.
So I am Ron, R-O-N, Novak, N-O-V-A-K, and I'm a partner at Drawing Department.
Did you wish to make a statement at this time, Mr. Novak?
I think this is, all I would say is that this is not dissimilar from other sort of permitted uses that would need to get a conditional approval on, just simply because of the sales of liquor. So I think it's compatible with the other uses that are in the neighborhood for other tenants that have opened up shops similarly. But as Alex said, I think this will be a great asset and benefit to the longevity of the neighborhood and sort of the resurrection of that area, not just at night, but during the day, because Nick is providing sort of mixed services for coffee and bar throughout the day. So it should be a open window, which is pretty great.
Okay, you had mentioned, I believe it was Mr. Deaver said that the building is currently vacant, totally
Yes.
vacant.
Correct.
So there's nobody's living in what looked like residential space
So
above.
the residents are, the residents above, correct, but the space that we are proposing to have this bar is a white box currently.
Okay, so the first floor is vacant.
Correct.
Okay, not the whole building. Okay, all right. All right. Was there anything else that either of you wanted to say at this time?
Not right now. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay, would the hours be, I noticed in staff report, the hours would be 7 a.m. to 1 a.m.
Correct.
Is that correct?
Yes.
So,
correct.
and just so I understand more fully what you have in mind, or what the applicant has in mind, I guess, would the alcohol be served all day? Or just like
No.
the
And I'm more than happy to let Nick speak on this matter.
Oh,
also.
sure, okay.
We'll be the operator, and he's the owner, so.
Oh, very
Sure.
good.
Yeah,
Okay,
so no, cocktails and alcohol will not be served all day. There will be sort of a clear transition from coffee shop during the morning and early afternoon to cocktail bar in the evenings. So the coffee shop will run from about 7 a.m. until currently we're planning on about 2 or 3, and then we may have an hour of closure to kind of transition into the new evening phase, and then it'll start with cocktails at about 5 or 6 p.m.
okay. Will there be cooking on premises?
Not really cooking. There will be a few sort of pre-prepared food items. We'll have
Okay.
like some mixed.
I just the paperwork said restaurant, so I'm just trying to understand.
Oh, okay.
But now you're saying coffee shop, which I know a lot of times the food is brought in.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to understand what,
Yeah,
what you have in mind.
Right. For the coffee shop, it'll be a full coffee program, espresso program, and then the food will primarily be pastries and things like that brought in from a different local business.
Okay. I'm just writing.
Sounds good. And then in the evening, we'll have a few sort of simple bar snacks like marinated olives and mixed nuts and things like that.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Munzel, did you have anything to add that you want to say at this time?
Good morning. Yes, I'll just highlight that the proposed use, alcohol sales, is inside the building, which minimizes the magnitude of the impact. And there are other restaurants and bars in the area, which that's kind of an expected land use in an urban mixed use district. So, we did recommend approval. I do want to just note that I didn't see anything on the drawings about outdoor dining or outdoor seating. So that's not part of what we're approving at this point, as far as a recommendation. I I did have one clarifying question. Are you doing like any entertainment or music kind of thing? Or I didn't realize the upstairs units were full, or residential, but just curious about that. Not that it impacts anything, I'm just curious.
Yeah, we don't really have any plans currently to have live music or anything like that. We'll have music obviously through a speaker system, but yeah, nothing live or entertainment.
Okay.
So I'm sorry, you said no live music, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't have any more comments or anything. Thank you.
Okay. Do any of you, Mr. Deaver or Mr. Novak or Mr. Kallenberg, do you have any questions at this time?
No questions? Nope. No, thank you.
Okay.
No,
Is there anything that you would like to add?
Not at this time. Nope.
All right. Well, if there's nothing further, I will close the hearing. Thank you very much, and everybody have a good day.
All right. Thank you.